Welcome to episode 36 of Bros Park. You're welcome by yours truly, Jeff.
And Colin. And it is another BEA
Beautiful day in the park.
We are here. We are back for a very, very fun special episode. We just watched a movie, actually.
Can you guess? Can you guess what it is?
Yeah,
based off the title?
Yeah, based off of the title. We watched DanDaDan Evil Eye, or The Evil Eye, whatever it's called.
It doesn't matter what the name is.
Yeah, season 2, first 3 episodes, all into one big movie in the theaters, which is nice. It's good to see it on the big screen.
Yes.
Before we get into it, I will preface with saying we're going to be talking about it, as we just said, and the title says. There's going to be spoilers.
Spoiler warning.
If you don't want spoilers, you haven't seen it, or you just don't care to hear our opinions, fucking get out of here right now.
No, still watch the video, but put it on mute.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And there will be talk about what happens, the story. We probably won't have too many pictures coming up, just so you guys aren't spoiled of the animation itself. But we'll have a few here or there, and then
We're trying to pirate it.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
And then so let's just get into it. It kind of starts with the end of season 1, like very directly.
Yeah, it actually kind of started with a little synopsis, like
Yes.
a little brief,
Like highlights
scenes of season 1, like in the very beginning, midway point, and then it kind of showed like half of the last episode.
Yeah.
It started at the halfway point of episode 12 of season 1,
Mm-hmm.
and then just went through it, and then we saw the rest of the scenes.
Yeah, it was them climbing up the stairs, getting there, and then
Freaking Momo, I say, almost getting raped. Can I say that?
You
Raped?
can. Yeah, I mean it's
Assaulted?
long form. Yeah. Essayed.
That's it.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it in that way. And they really threw that in there again, and then
Yeah, they did in the very beginning of season
Yeah.
1, DanDaDan, where it's kind of like a little. Can I actually say it? I'm just gonna.
yeah,
we're gonna bleep it out.
No. It's definitely sensitive subject matter for the reasons that we were talking about.
Yeah, very sus, very
Mhm.
very sussy stuff.
Yeah. And they went back to it, and I mean, we knew it was going to happen because the end of season 1 ended the way it did.
Yeah.
And I think it was just the first episode, but wow, did they lean into that? They were like, really?
those
Here
guys,
we are.
those guys are freaking creepy. It does not help that their skin is freaking like
gray
and like zombie-like.
Yeah.
Oh, but speaking of which, so I guess like in the very beginning when they showed like a summarization of season 1 and a little bit of episode 12, just to bring people up to speed, or maybe if you're a new viewer, you'd understand it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, if I was a new viewer, I would not even understand anything.
It still wouldn't make any sense.
Because it's DanDaDan. It's
Yeah.
just everything's crazy. So like, there's actually no point for like a little like speed run of season 1, because it's just like you wouldn't get it.
No.
You wouldn't get it.
I think because it is just the first, I believe, 3 episodes of season 2 kind of just matched into one end to end. They didn't even, I guess, make a clean cut. It was just here's the end of what would be episode 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the start of the next episode. Like, it just black screened, ready to go, boom, and then it opened with the same shot.
Yeah, I respect that. I just want new content, man. Freaking DanDaDan is amazing.
Yeah.
And like jumping into it, because we get more of a glimpse of what the creepy people are in the onsen town.
Which, when they showed you in season 1,
dude, they were fucking creepy.
I thought it was the whole town.
Yeah.
I thought everybody in town was this creepy fuck.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's just one family.
Yeah.
And like the rest of the town's normal. They're just fine.
Yeah, they're
like,
actually just normal civilians.
Yeah.
But it's just the Keto clan.
Yeah, the Keto
That's what
clan,
they are.
Yep.
So like the creepy woman and the creepy guys in the onsen,
They're all
related.
Ketos, yeah.
Yeah. And then thankfully, Momo escapes from the whole situation, and during that, we actually see Turbo Baba. I'm so glad we saw her.
Yeah, I thought we left her behind because she never really showed up in the train ride there. And all that in season 1.
She literally just like stowed away in Momo's backpack.
Yeah.
And I love this scene where or Mo was like, you could have just asked us if you wanted to come, right?
And she's like, no, because she showed up because she said, oh, I knew when your grandma said the address of this place, it was a hot spring town. So I just stowed away. Like, I'm coming to hot spring
just
town.
like, you could have just said you wanted to come. We would have brought you.
Yeah, and she's like, no.
That scene was so funny.
Yeah, and she, again, spoilers and all that stuff. I'm not going to say that anymore. But she was the one that ended up kind of saving Momo from the men in the onsen.
Yeah.
And she's just like, yeah, I didn't even want to help you. It just like my powers activated. I don't know. Like, fuck you, dude. It's like, okay, sure. It's the unsung hero, I guess.
And one of and going back to the guys, because the last thing we saw was them like poking a hole into the wall. Yeah. And like they saw like all the like charm talismans, everything.
I thought you meant the guys in the onsen.
Oh no!
And I was like, no, they didn't poke. They were directly in the onsen.
Nah, we're done with them. We're done with them.
Okarun and Gigi.
Yeah, and Gigi.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to get interrupted by the woman of the town.
Yeah, the Keto clan women.
Yeah, that scene was kind of funny too.
Yeah,
because like, dude, the women are such assholes. Like,
and Gigi was like. Gigi's just the goat. Like, he's just so nice and all these things that when the women come in and interrupt and he's like, better not lie to us. You better be nice. You better do this. He's just like, okay. So it was funny to see that at the end of the day, the women were actually like stronger than the men.
Yeah, they're still
specifically
creepy,
the grandma.
Yeah. And then like basically Gigi and Okarun just get freaking dogged on by the woman.
Yeah.
Because we don't see it. They just get off screen. They're like
they're
basically naked and like bruised.
Yeah, they get stripped and tied up.
Yeah, just and like then Momo comes back and she's like, oh, like like it's time to freaking do this. And then like everybody's there.
Yeah.
Like
including the men from the onsen and the ladies that were in the house already.
Doesn't help the men are also like naked.
Yeah,
at the same
in like
time.
The traditional like rope like
garb. The traditional like spiritual whatever the crap is. But then the cool thing is we jump right into an action scene, and god damn, does DanDaDan have amazing action scenes.
They perfectly do this blend of action and comedy.
Yeah, which
you don't see in a lot of anime. Usually it's just one or the other. Mm-hmm. But watching the Kiso family matriarch, like the mom, that's basically just a strong old lady, just go to fucking town.
Yeah, she basically does kung fu shit. Dude.
And they're like, they throw in the comedy where she's deflecting all of the things that Momo's throwing at her.
Yeah, and it's like actually like what you see in like an old like kung fu movie where they're just like.
But then the last thing Momo throws is like one of the guys, and the grandma still just kicks the guy away like through a wall, and you're like, okay, I don't think you needed to do that.
Yeah, and in one of the scenes, Momo basically grabs one of the guys with her like spiritual hands and like pulls him in and knees him.
Yeah, straight to the like, dome.
Just freaking in the teeth. And the funny thing is, after she knees him, she's like, "Oh, god damn it!" Like, because you don't really think about it that way.
Yeah, like, she's not used to that.
Yeah, whenever you knee someone, you're like, "Okay, we just dealt a lot of damage," but then like it freaking still hurts. You just need someone in the face.
100%, man. And then I love that they threw in there, like, oh. She can't be a normal old lady. Like, there's no way. Like, what is she? She's got to be a monster or a ghost or something. And Turbo Baba's like, no, she's just a strong old lady. And Momo's like, what do you mean? That can't be. And then Turbo Baba's like, what do you mean you live with a strong old lady? And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, for some reason, the old women in the story of DanDaDan are like actually OP.
Yeah. So strong, so fast. They're just crazy as well.
Yeah, so basically at the end of the day, after like the end of the action scene, Momo gets like freaking like, they do that stereotypical.
The two-hand fist.
Yeah, they freaking get her, punch Momo in the stomach, and like she goes to the wall that Gigi and Okarun made a hole in.
All the talismans.
Yeah, so she gets into that separate like building basically, and then there is like it's basically like quicksand in there.
Yeah,
and then we learn more of the backstory of like
of the town itself,
of the town and everything.
Yeah, so there's this giant great serpent that stops the volcano in the town from erupting, and it hasn't erupted for 200 years because they've been making sacrifices
to the Keto clan sacrifices like the offspring of parents.
Yeah, children, and when we learned about it first, we thought it was just a joke. It was like, we don't actually do that. Like, that's fake. And then you learn that this is the room that like they actually do these sacrifices, and they have been doing it. And that's the only reason the volcano hasn't erupted, supposedly. So she gets thrown in there, and they were going to be the sacrifices. These 3 kids were going to be the sacrifices to the great serpent. And from there, the quicksand happens, and they like fall into the mountain.
Yeah, basically because they're like everybody's just trying to block Momo from getting out, but then freaking Gigi and Okarun wake up and just throw a couch.
Yeah.
They just basically push a couch and move everybody into the quicksand, and then all the women also like fall in at the same time. So everybody falls in the quicksand and like go down. Yeah. Basically, all like sacrifices at this point.
Yep.
And once you fall down, it's actually like a crazy, crazy big height, big fall, and at the bottom you just see a bunch of these old houses accumulating.
Yeah, like old abandoned decrepit houses. And I really like this part because it actually tied in and it made sense why we saw them go up 4 flights of stairs, because they were right. So they were so tired going up because there were so many stairs. But now you realize that those stairs were made there because they've dug into the mountain to like drop these houses in with the sacrifices, which is super cool.
Yeah, we'll get more into more detail about why there's like a bunch of freaking houses and why there's a goddamn mountain to get up.
But they fall down there, and we learn that the great serpent actually does exist.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not a serpent. It's a
it's like a giant Mongolian death worm.
Yeah, and so it's something from the occult. So Okarun knew about it.
Yeah,
and he was all amazed that it existed because it was supposed to be like only 1 to 2 meters, but this thing was like the size of a mountain.
Yep.
Like it was massive.
It's actually like a great serpent, as they say.
Yeah.
It's like a leviathan.
Yeah, and they were supposed to be sacrifices, but they ended up, surviving, and it, funnily enough, ate the Keto clan instead.
Yeah, because the Keto clan was like, we don't make sure they're not with us. You gotta eat those guys, and then they just
they were dancing in a circle, doing
like this.
Yeah.
It was actually so funny, and then they just get freaking eaten.
And then our three main characters survive, and then they just start trying to off themselves. They just like grab glass and try to slit their throats, and
for some reason Gigi wasn't infected.
No.
But like Okarun is like, what was he trying to do? He was trying to get like an X-Acto knife and just
he had an
stab
X-Acto
himself.
knife, and he was trying to, and he was like, please let me kill me.
Yeah, and Momo was using her like psychic abilities to just grab glass and just try and like stab her.
Yep. And it turns out that not only is this a earthworm, Mongolian earthworm that is giant and massive and eats people.
Yeah.
It also has psychic waves that convinces you to commit suicide.
Just like, I guess, yeah. What?
God,
maybe that makes sense.
Broken, dude. So they try to go through that because Gigi is not affected by it, and Turbo Baba isn't either. So.
Yeah, Turbo Baba is there in Momo's backpack, and like actually Momo was pretty much close to just stabbing herself in the stomach.
Yeah.
But then Turbo Baba was there and just stabs Turbo Baba.
Yeah. She's like, what
the heck?
And then it cuts at Turbo Baba. She's just consistently trying to stab herself, and it's just Turbo Baba. That's so good.
And then we see like the goat Gigi.
Yeah.
He like picks up everybody and like has an escape scene.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he's running away from the worm, getting chased by that, and he's carrying Okarun, Momo, and Turbo Baba. Dude, I think that's a scene you saw in the trailer. It was fucking badass, dude.
And then, all said and done, the worm catches up and is about to make them commit suicide again. But we saw it in a glimpse in season 1, but it's the reason that Gigi can't sleep. It's like that weird purple standing form like this with a messed up head.
Yeah, and he's wearing underwear too.
Mm-hmm. And that thing appears basically and counteracts the suicide waves.
Basically, it has its own suicide waves. And it counteracts the giant worm's suicide waves. So everyone's like, oh, sick.
Yeah.
I'm sane again.
And at this point, it was hard for me because some of it, Turbo Baba was saying, oh, this is what this is. This is what they do. Don't trust them, all these things. And Turbo Baba is still Turbo Baba, so we don't know if we can trust Turbo Baba.
Yeah, anything she says, you gotta take with a grain of salt, because like she's not working with you guys.
But then Gigi says, "Oh no, Turbo Baba, you're wrong. this thing has like kind of spoken to him at this point, like not words, but through flashbacks and visions and stuff.
Yeah, so she's basically saying, "Don't look into its eyes," but Gigi looks into its eyes.
Yeah,
and like we go through the backstory.
Yeah,
the backstory was actually really good.
It was. It wasn't. It didn't feel very DanDaDan.
Yeah,
but not in a bad way.
It was kind of like
it was slower and it was good.
It wasn't as sad as episode 7 of season 1 with the mom. With
sure, yeah.
But at the same time, like it still hit those emotional points, which I'm like,
yeah,
you know what? This is still DanDaDan.
Yeah, he. Long story short, this boy was, locked away and ended up being.
This is like 200 years ago.
Yeah, being used as a sacrifice to stop the volcano from erupting 200 years ago, and then through that became a ghost and wanted to play with people.
It was pretty gruesome because like the volcano erupted, so they used this kid as a sacrifice, and you actually see him being burnt alive.
Yeah, at the stake.
I was so surprised they actually showed that.
Yeah, and then you see his burnt body and everything.
Yeah,
and then you see that, and Gigi obviously has sympathy and empathy and is like, it's okay, like I'll play with you type idea.
Yeah, because the kid was locked away and always wanted to play. But then like after he gets unalived,
yep,
he becomes a ghost. But he didn't realize it at first.
No,
so he's like he'd basically hang out with like people's families, and like the kids would see him, but the parents wouldn't see him.
And this was at the same location of the house that Gigi was in, which is why it was like the original altar site. Yeah.
So then like, he would be like, he'd try and play with the kid, right? But then I guess he was cursed in a way that he has the suicide like psychic waves. So it was actually running through like a montage. Like he's like, oh, let's play with the kid. And then parents.
So that was from the worm.
Yeah.
So
that was from the worm.
Yeah. So
that's why they get in.
So that's why. Okay. So this thing is called Evil Eye. That's why it's called Evil Eye. So this Evil Eye kid was showing Gigi all these visions of like, oh, I was just trying to be friends with these kids. Oh. And then that's why it showed the yellow circle around him.
Oh yeah, because there was
the mind worm.
Oh, there was something glowing from it. I thought that was his powers activating.
That was the worms activating.
Oh, okay.
And that's why Gigi was like, oh, this was never you. You weren't the reasons my parent committed suicide. It was the worm.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, every time like that happened, when the parents of the kids just basically commit suicide, the kids themselves were used as sacrifices to the worm too.
By the Keto family that we've talked about. And not just the kids. That's why all the houses are down in the hole.
They basically just like bulldozed the houses, threw them over, buried them underneath.
Yep.
With the kid inside too.
Yep. To appease the great serpent, aka the Mongolian earthworm.
Yeah, and Gigi like kind of sees that through Evil Eye, and then he's like, oh, I understand. So he's like sympathizing.
Yeah. So Evil Eye is now in Gigi's, brain. A good guy. He wouldn't do that. He's not.
Yeah. So like we kind of, it's like kind of like a acrobatic Silky, like pretty. They're evil, but at the same time you like learn more about them. Like like there's a reason why they're like that, and like you like they're actually good people.
So through all that, we kind of get to the point that Gigi's like, well, oh shit, your original body is still down. Like it's at the bottom of the houses.
Like I'm gonna go save you, recover your body, and everything,
and release you from this curse, basically. And the whole time, Turbo was like, "Don't do that. Like, don't fucking do that.
Like, come on, just stop. He's a yokai or something.
He's a yokai, and he makes you go crazy and commit suicide."
He's like, dude,
holy
stop.
Shit.
But at the same time, from an audience point of view, you're like, dude, we just saw this whole flashback. Like, Turbo Baba is wrong.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Like,
so like Gigi gets to the very bottom. You see like the burnt up, like mummified corpse of Evil Eye.
Yeah, and his hair's been growing the whole time.
Yeah.
And finally, Gigi is about to kind of say that no matter how many lifetimes, no matter how long, he'll play with Evil Eye forever. And Turbo Baba was like, again, don't fucking do that. And then he does it anyways. And Evil Eye, boom, possesses Gigi.
Yeah, Evil Eye just says like, you said the words.
Yep, you said forever. We're bonded forever. Yeah. And that's now the kind of big bad guy that we've seen in the trailers and photos and stuff like that.
Yeah, you see Gigi with the giant eye there, looking menacing, like freaking badass.
With the rainbow strands on each side. Or earrings? I think it's earrings.
I don't know. It looks cool as fuck, though.
So at that point, I think that's basically like the first 2 episodes, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So now, of course, the earthworm's not dead. The Okaru needs to go full throttle and decapitate it.
Yep.
It grows another head back. Lo and behold, it's still alive. And Evil Eye then goes to fucking town. We find out that Evil Eye is evil. Lo and behold.
Legit, like, oh shit,
Yep.
like, he's not a good person.
No, the first thing he said when he got it, he said, yes, I have a vessel of my own. Time to kill all the humans. That was the first line he came out
Yeah,
with.
so it just starts straight up attacking Momo.
Yep. He started fucking pummeling Momo. And then the earthworm was getting in the way. So he's like, in this house of the dead, like the curses will never let you rest or something. And basically creates a soccer ball out of
cursed
spirits almost.
Cursed
like,
spirits. And, dude, that scene when it happened. So basically, because like Gigi loves playing soccer,
Yeah.
the spirit Evil Eye has always wanted to like just play and have fun.
Yeah.
But it was always locked up, so it couldn't do that. So it's pretty cool how like he makes a ball and kicks it around. That's
Yeah.
it. That's his power basically.
And
It's such a good like connection.
it's at the bottom of the hole that like Gigi and them are here, and then the hole is like this all the way up, and the serpent's like entangled up around it.
Yeah.
So he's just standing in the middle, kicking the ball up and down through the
yeah, it's
serpent.
banking off the wall. It's
And
coming
it's-
back down.
Yeah, it's always bouncing back to
Oh
him.
my god, dude! The animation for that was fucking amazing.
It was
dude.
sick.
It was, I was like stunned because like every time like his like leg connected with the ball, there would be like this split keyframe of like beautiful animation.
Mhm.
When it happened, I was like stunned. I was like, holy shit!
So he kind of defeats that, and then of course, Okarun takes exception to the fact that he beat the shit out of Momo, and they start getting into a fight, which is one of my favorite freeze frames.
Yeah,
of
that was in the trailer,
entire
dude.
anime.
That was in the trailer, dude.
And it's the cross kick to meet each other
Yeah.
as Evil Eye is trying to kick the ball through Momo basically, and
Mhm.
Okarun stops it. Oh, looks
Dude,
so
it was
crisp.
so badass, man.
And then maybe we won't say the very end of what happens at it for those of you that still want to go watch it, but fights go on between Okarun and Evil Eye.
Action scene's amazing. You just see freaking Okarin running like full throttle.
Yep.
Sideways. Oh,
Yep.
it's so good. Like words can't describe it. I don't understand like how they were like able to like increase the animation from season 1.
Yeah.
I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, holy shit.
It's still the DanDaDan style, but they kind of next leveled it. And again, just to finish up on like the kind of summary of it, like they try to get out of the hole and that's kind of the next step is them trying to get out of the hole.
Yeah,
and we won't go into what happens beyond. Go check it out yourself. But I think they leveled up from season 1 so hard.
Yeah, definitely. And also, dude, the music too that played.
Mm-hmm.
Like during the action scene
Yep.
of them fighting, dude, it's kind of like techno-y.
Yeah.
It's fucking badass.
It's hype. It's techno. And I was noticing it because in season 1, they kind of did the classical music sometimes, like
Yeah.
when they had the crab chase and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they've kind of shifted away into this new thing, which I like because Evil Eye doesn't seem like a classical type of villain.
No.
So that's super fun that it kind of matches the vibe in that way.
Yeah, just listen to the music when like things are happening. It just like elevates it all.
100%.
It really helped because we were in the movie theater and like it's blasting at us, but like it was
Yeah.
just so good, dude.
And even they had some tidbits with the directors while in the movie theater, which was super cool. And they talked about one big difference that I noticed right away as well, which is that the color palette is so much more muted. It's very unsaturated. And they talked about it in that it was meant to fit the vibe of the hot spring town because it was meant to be, I think,
Kadokawa.
Yeah,
like
Kadokawa.
those type of films.
Old school Japanese films that are very muted and not that whole kind of bright, almost brain rot color is of like season 1.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, super saturated.
So with that, I thought that was a really cool distinction and difference with season 2. And I thought that was a great choice for them to do.
Yeah. Definitely like compared to season 1, it's still DanDaDan, but it's like elevated.
I don't know if I was trying to come to terms with one side or the other here, where if you take the first, let's say 3 episodes or any 3 episodes in DanDaDan season 1 and compare it to this 3 episodes, I don't know if this story holds up as much as certain kind of like 3 story arcs of DanDaDan season 1. Like, for example, the dancer era and like that arc.
Yeah.
I really like that arc. That arc was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that this one is like the closest one to it because we got another ghost possessing somebody else.
Yeah, you got more of an emotional beat for this one.
And I think this one holds up against that. But
for sure.
For example, the first 3 episodes of season 1 were awesome.
Oh, for like, yeah. Because like this is our first introduction to DanDaDan.
Still baits you in. Still amazing. So,
fucking Christ, man.
I think that this one did such a good job because we walked out of that theater being like, fuck, we have to wait for episode 4 and 5 and 6.
And like, there were scenes certain times during the movie theater where like it kind of like cut to the next scene. It would go kind of black.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, the show's over.
Yeah,
we gotta go on. And then it move on to the next scene. I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, we got more time to watch this.
And it is just episode 1, 2, and 3. So we definitely could have waited. We could have had it. But experiencing it on the big screen, going there, and then it also just builds that hype and like delayed gratification of, okay, you can't watch it and binge watch it.
Yeah, this is my very first time going to like a movie theater to watch like an anime. Like I've seen like Your Name on theaters, but
like a standalone movie,
like an anime series. Like, dude, I want to go more to see these type of like, showings.
I think it's an awesome way to do it because, like you said, Your Name, or I mean, even series-based movies like Slime movie that came out.
Yeah.
Or I think later this year there's the Demon Slayer movie.
In September.
They are movies where this was just almost a sneak peek of the season. And I really liked it. I still would go 100%.
Yeah, I don't know, man. DanDaDan. I'm just going to put this out here. This movie is going to be one of the top 2025 anime films.
Okay. I wonder if they would classify it as a film, like in terms of for the awards and stuff like that.
It's a movie.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically, I guess.
And just going off of this, DanDaDan is going to be like one of the top animes of 2025. I'm going to go on a limb and just say, dude, you got it, man.
If the rest of season 2 lives up to these 3 episodes, phenomenal. Like top tier.
Yeah. Oh my God. The story, the director himself is doing such a good job animating everything too.
Yeah.
Like, God damn.
And it also is the director from season 1, but he also brought along a co-director who was the OP season 1 director.
He did the opening for season 1.
Yeah. And they brought him along because, he did such a good job with the opening, but also, the original director was talking about his ability to work with colors and have a bit of a different theory than his own.
Yeah.
And they worked really well together, which is interesting because when they talked about the decisions that were being made and kind of this OP director or the co-director's decisions and what he brought to it, it really stood out in season 2. He was talking about the colors in terms of Evil Eye being the bluish purple and contrasting to Okaron. Yeah.
Originally, they were going to have Evil Eye's white colored.
Which I can't even imagine, but I don't know if I can imagine it because I've seen the blue purple and how good it looks.
Yeah, dude. He looks good when he's like bluish purple.
Yeah. So I think those decisions were so good and obviously they did well.
I also felt we got debated because the director for the opening 1 was talking a lot, right? They were interviewing him.
Yep.
I thought we were going to get a sneak peek of the second opening of DanDaDan.
Dude, we didn't. Oh, man. We didn't get to see
season
2 OP.
I was waiting for like the end. I was like, are they going to do it? Because like, I can only imagine it's going to be even, if not better than season 1. And hopefully Creepy Nuts does it again.
I told him at the
Creepy
beginning.
Nuts.
All week, I've just been listening to Ononoke on repeat.
It's so good, dude.
And I'm like, man, fuck, you're right. Like I forgot that we didn't get to see the opening because I was just so engrossed in it. And those 3 episodes, like I said, it's basically just the episode. They cut the OP out and the ending credits and they just put them next to each other and that was it.
Yeah.
So fuck, like I wonder what song they're gonna use. I wonder what it's gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it should be so good.
Yeah. I got nothing else to say, man. I just you gotta go watch the movie.
Yeah.
You gotta be hyped for DanDaDan. Oh my, it's so good, man.
Okay, so
Damn.
that's us glazing DanDaDan Evil Eye. If you haven't gone to see it, go watch it. Even after hearing what we have to say about it, just go watch it. It's so good. And if not, then hopefully you'll catch, episode 1, 2, 3 when it comes out in July.
I'm so excited for it.
It should be so good.
So excited for it. You guys should be too.
But let us know down below if you have seen it. Drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll be back here when DanDaDan Season 2 as well comes out. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace, guys.